In episode 6, they need to fix Miyagi-Do. Daniel, Dimitri, Sam, and Robbie start going back to work cleaning up the mess that Cobra Kai left. Now, at one point, Robbie does try to address the elephant in the room, but Sam shoots him down, saying, "We didn't do anything, so there's nothing to talk about." It is kind of awkward, though. While they're cleaning up Miyagi-Do, the kids from Cobra Kai that left Cobra Kai show up at Miyagi-Do asking if this is the right place. But Robbie's looking for a fight because he recognizes the one kid from beating up Dimitri. Daniel tries to stop him, but Robbie says that's one of the guys who was beating on Dimitri. He probably helped trash the dojo too, but Chris, the kid who left, says, "Hey, we didn't have anything to do with that," and then addresses Dimitri apologizing for what he did. But Dimitri does not accept the apology. He doesn't want to let these kids in Miyagi-Do, and he's not the only one. Robbie's hesitant to do so as well. But Daniel is willing to forgive and forget and says to him, "We're happy to have you," and everybody starts going to work. Daniel gives all the kids individual tasks when Amanda calls asking if he's going to make the sales meeting. But Daniel says, "I can't. We just got a bunch of new recruits, and I don't want to leave Miyagi-Do, so just cover it." But this is the second sales meeting in a row he's missed, and Amanda is concerned. Especially when Daniel says, "Well, something important just came up. I gotta go." And Amanda finds that kind of ironic since he thinks that a free dojo is more important than his business. But the important thing is the fact that Dimitri and Chris are going at it. Dimitri insulting Chris for just simple accidents. And the fact is, Dimitri is still pissed off at Chris for trying to rough him up in the mall. So Daniel decides to have them work together to lift a stone that Dimitri, Sam, and Robbie were having trouble lifting earlier in the day. This way, they're going to have to use teamwork to pick it back up. But Dimitri and Chris are having a tough time doing it, and Dimitri continues to insult Chris, so finally he pushes him. But when Chris pushes him, Sam and Robbie step in, thinking that he's getting bullied again, trying to come to his defense, when in reality it was Dimitri who was being the douchebag. So when this mini skirmish breaks out, Daniel runs out saying, "What's going on? You guys are on the same team now." And Robbie says, "No. Once Cobra Kai, always Cobra Kai." But Daniel says, "That's not true. I know that's not true because I was once Cobra Kai." He brings all the kids in the dojo and explains that he wanted to continue fighting after the All Valley, but Mr. Miyagi didn't want him to, so he joined Cobra Kai. And it did make him feel tougher, but he also noticed that he was getting angrier, and he didn't like that side of him. So it doesn't matter who anybody was before they stepped into this dojo, because today, right now, we're all Miyagi-Do. And after that impassioned speech, Chris and Dimitri go out, work together, and are able to actually lift the stone up. And then the two have the most awkward high-five pound thing. It's just weird. But they'll work on that chemistry, I'm sure. But Daniel has done it. He seems to have a full dojo and been able to successfully integrate former Cobra Kai members with Miyagi-Do into one. Now, over with Cobra Kai, Johnny's trying to get some answers as to what went down in Miyagi-Do. He's having the kids do up-downs until somebody says who did it. He tells all the kids, "We don't do that here." But these kids are winded, and they're promising Johnny that they don't know who did it. Johnny, though, then has to step away because he gets a phone call. And he recognizes the voice on the other end, but he finds out that one of his friends is doing really poorly in hospice. So he heads out, leaving the dojo in Kreese's hands. And Kreese gives the kids a 2-minute break where Eli does walk up to him and says, "I think I should tell Sensei Lawrence what happened," but Kreese tells him, "Say nothing, I'll handle it." And he continues to work the kids to death. And because of the frustration, there's a little bit of infighting. So Kreese says, "You know what, I'll tell you who did it. It was Hawk." And Eli's face looks guilty. But then Kreese says, "And it was Miguel, and it was Robertson." And he lists everybody in Cobra Kai, saying that if one of them does something, they all do something. He then tells all the kids to get in the main dojo because they're about to start their real training. He squares off Tori and one of the new kids, and Tori dismantles the kid pretty quickly. She gets awarded the point. But while the kid's down, Kreese says, "Hit him again." And Tori's kind of surprised about this message. She's reluctant to do so, so Kreese says, "Do you have a problem with that? A fight isn't over until your enemy is finished. Show your enemy no mercy." So Tori nods, and she's about to clock this kid when Miguel speaks up saying, "This isn't what Sensei Lawrence has been teaching us. There's no honor in being merciless." Tori won. She got the point. And Kreese slowly makes his way over to Miguel saying, "Well, Sensei Lawrence is right in a way. I mean, in a tournament, the fight stops when you get a point. But in real life, it's not about scoring points. It's about being a winner or a loser. And there are no losers in this dojo." After class that day, Miguel's getting some extra work in when Tori comes into the room and has him hold pads for her. Miguel asks her, "Don't you think that some of what Sensei Kreese is teaching us is wrong?" But Tori doesn't. She tells him a story about when her and her brother were growing up and the hardships they faced. And the message of it is, life shows you no mercy, so why should they? Before the next class, Miguel does go in beforehand and tell Kreese that he's sorry for speaking up. He shouldn't have done that. But Kreese doesn't seem mad. He tells him, "You have allegiance to Sensei Lawrence, and allegiance is nothing to apologize for." So they seem to be on a good page. Now, over with Johnny, that phone call that he got was from hospice for Tommy, one of his best friends growing up from Cobra Kai. And Tommy is in rough shape. Bobby, his old friend from Cobra Kai, is the one who gave him a phone call. And they go in to see Tommy, who's thrilled to see Johnny. Shortly after, though, Jimmy shows up. And they're all saying hi to Tommy, but they have to leave when the nurse comes in. And they've conspired to get Tommy out of there because they can't let him wither away in a nursing home. And Johnny's big fear is that Tommy's going to be too weak to even get up. But when they walk back in, Tommy's already ripped off all of the heart rate monitors. And he tells them, let's get the hell out of here. They all rent motorcycles and head off to have one killer weekend again, just like the old days. They end up getting to a bar and they're talking about life and what they've all been up to. And Johnny tells them that he's opened up a dojo and he's called it Cobra Kai. And Cobra Kai isn't the only thing that's back. So is John Kreese. And his buddies aren't thrilled to hear this. They tell Johnny all that bullshit that we dealt with from Kreese, that no mercy crap, and hell, you dealt with it the worst. I mean, don't you remember what he did to you? But Johnny says, yeah, I remember, but people can change. I'm trying to change Cobra Kai. I'm trying to change the image. But even his buddies don't believe it, because John Kreese always has something going on. Tommy, then to break up this awkward conversation, says, hey, does anybody want to go play pool? And Johnny says, yeah, I will. But when they go over to the pool tables, there's some jerk getting way too handsy with a female, just being an overall douchebag. And he tries to act tough with Johnny, while insulting Tommy at the same time. And when the guy puts his hand on Johnny, game on. All of the former Cobra Kai members go in on these goons, bringing back their karate and beating the hell out of all of them. That night, they go camping, and Tommy reveals to Johnny that he was actually always in love with Allie the whole time, but Johnny struck first. And that is why Tommy joined Cobra Kai. He wanted to have the balls that Johnny did when he asked Allie out. Johnny does reveal that he doesn't think he ever got over Allie. He tells Tommy, right now all I want to do is make sure my students don't make the same mistakes we did. I don't want these kids to look back at their life full of regret. And Tommy looks at him and says, you'll do it, Johnny, because you're the champ. And that is the last thing that Tommy ever tells Johnny, because the next morning, Tommy passed away in his sleep and the group finds him. Thank you so much for watching this recap. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Like the video if you liked it. Hit thumbs down if you thought it sucked. If you don't see the next video up in the end screen, don't worry, it'll be up soon. And please be nice in the comments section. Nobody likes being told they suck, even if it's true. Oh, and sharing's caring.